Phew. You know, being the critically acclaimed CEO of a multi-million dollar corporation is a lot harder than a lot of you might think. Anyway, well, I'm off work now, so let's get out of this monkey tie, throw this briefcase away, and let's check Twitter. Let's see if there's any new drama going on, huh, guys? That sounds like fun. Let's go ahead and look. Okay, so I'm just checking Twitter here. Let's just scroll through the timeline. Nothing. Oh well, let's go ahead and, I don't know, maybe somebody has, searched something that's interesting. Who really knows? Let's just look, okay? Let's look at Roman, okay? What's Roman been up to? Wait, who's this Boko no Ducko guy? Oh, Fred Pelhay. Oh, he seems like a cool guy. I've seen some of his full VHS and DVD rips on YouTube. What's he been up to? Why not? It seems kind of interesting. Huh? What's this? Just the first TWRC guy in my recommendations feed. Really, I can't stand any of them. Can't stand any of us. Huh? All right, that's it. I'm getting involved in this. Hey, kid, did you guys hear that? I heard something talk to me. I quit fooling around and look up here on the top shelf. Whoa. Han? Was that you that said that? Yeah, it was me that said that. Listen here, kid. Don't get involved in that petty drama with that guy. Well, what do you mean don't get involved in petty drama? I mean, I have to get involved in petty drama. I mean, it's what everybody in the TWRC does. I mean, we have to stand up for ourselves. It's not standing up for yourself, kid. Just making yourself look dumb. Han, here's the thing. I've already filmed 2 memes about this, and they've both been pretty accurate. Well, why don't you go ahead and post them? Whoa. Crossbones, you can talk too? Yeah, I can talk. All of us can talk. Hey, Cat, say something. America! I've owned these props for like 2 years now, and I had no idea any of them could talk. Well, there really just wasn't any reason for us to. Boba Fett, I shouldn't even be questioning this anymore. No, you really shouldn't. Build the wall. Hey, everybody. Quiet down here. I'm trying to talk to the kid, alright? Now, kid, listen. You don't want to get involved with this guy. He's only doing it to bait you. What you really need to do is get your mind off of it. Or else you're gonna end up like Krennic over there. Did you say something about me? We stand here amidst my achievement. That Krennic guy was always a bit of a nut job. Exactly, kid. You understand. So, what exactly can you do to get your mind off of it? I guess I could film a video. That's perfect, kid. Filming a video always gets your mind off of things. The question is, Mr. Han Solo, what kind of video should I do? I don't know, it's your channel. Make a choice. I mean, I did do a complete Funko Pop collection a little while ago. Kinda in the collection video mood. Plus, I start a new job soon. I won't have a lot of time to film a lot of things, so maybe I should do a collection video. That's a great idea, kid. Yeah, do that. But the next question is, which collection video should I do? Thomas Home Media or Blu-ray/DVD collection? Oh, for Christ's sake, kid. Hey, I'm 18. Oh, I'm sorry. For Christ's sake, young man. Just do the Thomas one. The Blu-ray one is gonna be outdated in the next few weeks anyway. Okay, Mr. Darth Vader, I'll do the Thomas one. Yeah, please don't kill me. What's up, everybody? It's LEGO Lover 117 coming back at you with the 2017 installment of my complete Thomas and Friends VHS/DVD/home media collection video extravaganza. That's a mouthful to say. So yeah, this is the 2017 edition of my Thomas and Friends home media collection. It has grown substantially since 2016. Mostly the DVDs section. However, the VHS section has grown as well. So, just like last year, we're going to start off with the VHS section, which is right here in front of you. So, without wasting any more of your valuable time, let's go ahead and jump right into it. We'll start with this stack right here. These are in somewhat chronological order. These first 2 stacks are in the most chronological order out of any other stack here.
So we'll start off here. Here's the original 1990 print of Thomas Gets Tricked, which is red. That is one of my rarest VHS tapes. Our first regular copy of Thomas Gets Tricked, I had originally picked this up on eBay, mainly because, well, you know, I needed an original copy of Thomas Gets Tricked. That's just a regular sticker label. Here's a second copy of Thomas Gets Tricked, which I bought for $2 because the seller had a picture of a late 90s reprinted version of Thomas Gets Tricked, but unfortunately they lied to me, so I got that. But it was cheap, so why not? And then here's a third copy of Thomas Gets Tricked. I got this version because I thought I was ordering a ink label copy of a late 90s reprint of Thomas Gets Tricked, which was actually an early 2000s print of its ink label, but it had the late 90s box. But the seller messaged me and said, hey, we have one that's in better shape. We'll send it to you. I thought, hey, that's pretty cool. But then they sent me this. So clearly the seller had no idea what they were selling, but they did refund me my money, so I'm not mad at them anymore. And plus, they let me keep the tape, so that was fun. So that was fine of them. Original James Learns a Lesson. Red. Still don't have a 1991, 1992 print of that, but I am looking into getting one. Tenders and Turntables. Thomas Breaks the Rules. And Better Late Than Never. Not in the best condition, but, you know, it came from a friend, so. Original print of Trust Thomas. And now, this is a newer one, a Time Life version of Trust Thomas, as you can see the differences in the logo and such. We will be taking a look at that on HMR, and if we already have, then you've already seen it. Thomas Gets Bumped. That's an original print. Thomas Percy and the Dragon with the gold sticker on it. Those golden stickers, they're hard to find on a lot of VHS tapes because people sometimes rip them off. Daisy, not in the best condition. Bought it off eBay, so had no idea what kind of condition it was actually in. James Goes Buzz Buzz original print with the trademark coffee stains on the inside. If you guys remember my unboxing video I did on that a long time ago, I said that that had some kind of coffee stain on it, which it does. Got Thomas's Christmas Party. Percy's Ghostly Trick, only copy of that. I'm looking into getting some late 90s reprints of that and an early 2000s print. Rusty to the Rescue, one of my favorite home media releases, actually. I love Rusty to the Rescue. Thomas and the Special Letter. Don't have a late 2000s print of that yet. This is something new. It's Thomas and His Friends Help Out. This was actually sent to me by Jacob, Thomas Fan 12341 on YouTube, and this is actually my tape from the James Learns a Lesson late 90s reprinted box that I have, and Jake sent me this case along with a late 90s reprint of James Learns a Lesson, which we'll get to in a minute. So he helped me fix that. So thank you, Jacob, once again. Thomas Meets the Queen, not a sticker label. It is ink label. Got that one in childhood, actually. I've had that one since I was a kid. Late 90s reprint of Thomas Gets Bumped. Got that actually at a flea market. Here's that James Learns a Lesson I was telling you about earlier. There is the tape for proof. Now I have that error copy fixed, I guess. James Goes Buzz Buzz, which actually does buzz whenever you try to watch it. Original print of Thomas's Friends Get Along. Original print of Thomas Comes to Breakfast. I do not have the original print of A Big Day for Thomas because people want to charge out the ball sack for that on eBay. So I probably will never get one, but you know, who knows. Reprint of Gallon Old Engine, looking into getting an original for that. Reprint of Thomas Comes to Breakfast, which was my first tape I ever had as a kid and one of my absolute favorite home media releases. Thomas Gets Bumped. Reprint, 3 copies of that. Big Day for Thomas on VHS. This is the 2003 reprinted version, which I actually got for pretty cheap on eBay, even though people also want to charge out the ball sack for that. Sing Along and Stories, a reprinted version, also looking into getting an original. If I don't have an original or reprinted version of something, I am looking into getting it, because my goal is to own every single Thomas and Friends American home video release in the history of ever. It's a crazy goal, but I think I can reach it. Thomas's Friends Help Out, reprint with the 60 Minutes of Fun sticker on there. Pretty rare to actually find that. Thomas's Trackside Tunes with the remnant of a SpongeBob sticker on there. If you guys watch HMR, you know the history of those SpongeBob stickers. Thomas's Christmas Wonderland, which I got from my grandmother. Same with this Make Someone Happy copy, which is blue. Very common, actually. A lot of people have that blue copy. Original print of Races, Rescues, and Runaways from childhood. Not actually an original, it's an ink label, but I meant that it came from my childhood. Another copy of Races, Rescues, and Runaways, which is in a little worse shape, but I got it from a lot, so I don't know. Maybe I'll sell it. I'm not sure. Salty's Secret, also from childhood. Hershey's Chocolate Crunch, the remnants of a SpongeBob sticker, also from childhood. Childhood copy of James and the Red Balloon, which broke while I was watching it on my VCR about a year ago, I think. And then another copy of James and the Red Balloon, which was sent to me by Train King James, which actually works. I did an unboxing on that as well. Got a reprinted version of Thomas and His Friends Get Along. Thomas's Snowy Surprise. This actually is a rare version that someone pointed out in the comments to me when this HMR aired. Apparently reprinted versions of this don't have the little snowflakes on the side of it, so did not know that. Thank you, person who pointed that out. I'd say your name, but I don't remember your name. New Friends for Thomas on VHS. One of the first lots I ever picked up on eBay had that in it. My factory era copy of Steamies vs. Diesels. Got the extra tape in there. Like another copy of mine, which we'll see in a minute. Best of Thomas. Had that since childhood. Best of Percy. Also had that since childhood with a SpongeBob sticker on it. The Best of Thomas had the remnants of a SpongeBob sticker. Best of Gordon on VHS, which I think... Yes, this is the Best of Gordon one. If you guys saw the supplemental on Best of Gordon, you guys know I picked up a copy of Best of Gordon on eBay, but the seller gave me something else. But we'll get to that in a minute. Original print of 10 Years of Thomas, which is blue. Blue version, not as rare as the black version. Black version is a lot rarer. A reprint of Thomas, a reprint of 10 Years of Thomas. Almost said a reprint of Thomas and Friends. I was just reading the logo. Bad me. Don't do that. This looks like Best of Gordon, doesn't it? Do not be deceived. It's actually an ink label of 10 Years of Thomas. But it's actually an earlier ink label, since this version... Or no, they're exactly the same. I thought this reprint had another version, but I guess not. It's Great to Be an Engine, sent to me by Train King James. Pretty okay release, nothing special. Thomas and the Jet Engine, which I bought from Jake, who's been mentioned earlier. We will have a supplemental on HMR looking at that at some point. Hooray for Thomas, the first copy I picked up, which was just on its own, paid like $5 for this, which I was surprised to get it for that cheap. But then my pal, Wooden Railway Only, fellow Cars fan, bless up dude, sent me a link for a lot, which included Hooray for Thomas, but it had two other releases that I did not own, so I was like, oh heck yeah, I'm going to pounce on this. So that's the second copy of Hooray for Thomas I got from that lot. Thomas's Soto Celebration, got that in a lot. Percy Saves the Day, which was in the lot with Hooray for Thomas. This was one of the tapes I didn't have, and one of the rarer VHS tapes, and then one of the rarest VHS tapes, not really of all time, but it's pretty rare, I suppose, is Thomas and the Really Brave Engines. We just had a supplemental looking at this the week that I'm filming this video. It's probably been like a month since that supplemental aired when this video goes up, so that information is useless. Track Stars. This was a supplemental that was kind of outdated when I uploaded it. I kept saying that Track Stars on VHS is not really that rare. You can find them pretty much anywhere on eBay. And then when I looked up Track Stars on eBay to validate that, when I uploaded that supplemental, I found like 2 copies. So my apologies if I got your hopes up if you wanted the Track Stars on VHS. There's like 2 copies on eBay. Calling All Engines, also in one of the first lots I ever got. This came with the New Friends for Thomas and Thomas Breaks the Rules. And then, to round out that stack, Thomas's Sodor Stories, one of the free sampler VHS tapes. The other 2 I cannot find for the life of me. It kind of makes me mad. So now we get into the Wooden Train bonus packs. Thomas Gets Bumped. Another copy of that. I think that's number 4 now. Cranky Bugs. Best of Thomas. That's the second copy of that. Best of James, which Best of Thomas and Best of James both also came from my grandparents' house. I used to watch Best of James every time I went over there. Got Thomas Percy and the Dragon, which I got in a lot. All 4 of these last Wooden Train bonus packs I got in the same lot for like $10. I was like, okay, I'm going to pounce on this. Here it is. Big Day for Thomas. Second copy of that. Funny how I went from 0 to 2 in like the span of a week. Percy's Chocolate Crunch. None of these came with their engines, by the way. None of these had any engines with them. They were all just by themselves. And Thomas Crypt's Wonderland with James. Only one I mentioned that had a character in it. Wow, bad me. Now we get into the bear copies. Here, I'll bring them over here so you can see them. Spills and Chills, blue copy, which I got in the Thomas and his friends Get Along case. I got a bear copy of Thomas and his friends Get Along in the 4-tape lot. Another copy of Spills and Chills. This one's from my childhood, but I'm pretty sure I stepped on the case as a kid and it broke. Song from the Station. Got that in a lot. Cranky Bugs. Have no idea what happened to the case for this, but it's gone now. Now some custom VHS tapes I made when I was like 10 and really bad with making customs. Trouble on the Tracks. This is that 2015 season 18 release. Maybe it was 2014. I can't remember off the top of my head, but this has like Thomas the Quarry and stuff like that on it. You can see on the label here on the bottom, mine actually says Troubled on the tracks. I kind of messed that up in the label maker, so I guess you could say it's a factory error, which not really because I made it, so it's a me error. And then 20 Years of Thomas and Friends, which I made for Thomas and Friends turning 20 because I realized that they never did that for the official time that Thomas turned 20. Now our final 3 VHS copies. Best of James, which came from like a library or Hollywood Video or something. It's got a hard case on it. I don't have a regular copy of Best of James. I guess I'm just cursed with not being able to get a regular copy. And then Magic Railroad, which is, this one is, I think this is the, no, this isn't the factory era one. This is my childhood one. I can tell from the yellow on the bottom on how old it is. And then this is the factory era one. Look at how much tape there is in there. I mean, geez. So that, ladies and gents, is the VHS portion of this collection video. Now we're going to move into the DVDs, which are sitting right behind me. Alright, so here we are for the DVD section of this collection video. And the DVDs are huge. I mean, there's a big stack of them, of at least. It's a 3x3 square, pretty much, in front of me, just packed to the brim with all kinds of DVDs. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. We'll start with the DVDs that do not have cases, that are just in these little skinny jewel cases up here. Let me just grab... They just exploded out of my hand. I'm sorry. Man, this is really unprofessional, okay? I'm sorry. I'm not cutting it out, by the way. That's totally staying in the video. Okay. On Site with Thomas, we'll start off with here. We looked at that on HMR, I believe, not too long ago. About a year ago. Thomas Percy and the Dragon. Very first menu tour we ever did on HMR. Hashtag Throwback Thursday. Am I right? Because it's going up on Thursday. I'm hilarious. This little pack, which was known as Thomas's Railway Adventures, which came with this little DVD, which has the episodes Slippy Sodor and the Early Bird on it. Both very bad episodes, but it did come with a free Take and Play Thomas, the new style Take and Play with the round magnets, so it was okay. It was only like $10. Actually, it was on sale for like $6, so that was a score for me. Thomas and the Special Letter, one of those take-along DVDs. Currently trying to get more of these. Percy Takes a Plunge, not The Plunge. They retitled it, I guess. And James and the Trouble with Trees. The 3 of which that are not the rare ones. I'm kind of sad I don't have the rare ones. The Story of Thomas and the Jet Engine, which apparently came with a Trackmaster set, which I got from the train convention just by itself. Custom copy of Dinos and Discoveries that I made way back when Dinos and Discoveries first came out, and I was too cheap to buy the DVDs back then. And then Better Late Than Tricked, which is a classic custom that I made, which is a double feature of Better Late Than Never and Thomas Gets Tricked. And I will never, ever, ever erase this one, because that one is cool. Alright, so which stack should we start with first? Let's start with this stack over here with my 2007 prints of the Best Of collection. Here's Best of Percy, which whose nose still doesn't work all that well. I'm not going to push it because it sounds like a dying something. It sounds like a dying bird or something like that. 2007 print of Best of James, which was the first 2007 print I ever got. His nose still works very well. And then I don't think you all have seen this yet, because I don't think that the supplemental has aired yet, but 2007 print of Best of Gordon, whose nose actually works as well. That supplemental is going up soon, if it's not already up. I'm not sure if it is or not yet, so if it is, you guys have already seen it. Yeah, all I need is Best of Thomas. If somebody has a Best of Thomas that from 2007, please message me in the comments. I will talk with you and try to get a price out of you that's fair. Or if you find one on eBay, send me a link to it. I'll probably buy it. Fun, I almost dropped it there. Fun with Thomas, which is the first DVD sampler. And the other DVD sampler, which is a whole lot rarer, Quarry Adventures on Sodor. Got this at a thrift store. You all heard about that. And I posted the full rip of that on my channel. Thomas and the Tragic Fail Road. This is obviously a must-own film for everyone in the country, in the world, actually should own that film. It's one of the absolute classics of all time. Best of Thomas, Best of Percy, and Best of James, which has a skinny case, so apparently it was a Wooden Train bonus pack, but I got it as a kid, so I have no idea what came with the Best of James copy. I don't have the box for it anymore. And then regular old Best of Gordon. We've got some double features down here. Thomas's Halloween Adventures and Percy's Ghostly Trick. Took a look at those on HMR. Double feature of New Friends for Thomas and Spills and Chills. Got that at Walmart for like $5, I think. And then Thomas and the Toy Workshop and Thomas and the Really Brave Engines. I got this the day that Avengers Age of Ultron came out on Blu-ray back in 2015. Thomas Gets Tricked. Original DVD print of that. James Learns a Lesson. This is a universal print. The very first HMR that was ever shown publicly, I guess. There were some test HMRs that I did, which have never been seen and have been long deleted, so don't ask me for them. Trust Thomas on DVD, which, by the way, these are in the most chronological order as possible, since a lot of the Ringo Starr stuff was never released onto DVD. We've just skipped that entirely. We're in the George Carlin era now. Thomas Gets Bumped. Percy Takes the Plunge. James Goes Buzz Buzz. A very rare Percy's Ghostly Trick copy with the glow-in-the-dark slipcover. It's actually not really that rare. It's more uncommon. But we are going to take a look at this for Halloween. This coming October on HMR. Rusty to the Rescue. Again, one of my absolute favorite home media releases. I love that. Thomas and the Special Letter. This is what the late 2003 print of the VHS looks like. This is, I think that DVD is from 2007. I really don't know off the top of my head. Thomas and His Friends Help Out on DVD. Got that from the train convention a couple years ago. Henry and the Elephant. This was a Wooden Train bonus pack that I got Rickety in. Got that from Toys R Us when I was a kid. Sing-along stories. And then Hop on Board Songs and More, which is just sing-along and stories under a new name. Kind of cheap, but at least it comes with a free music CD. Got Thomas and His Friends Get Along. Got that from that thrift store. Thomas Comes to Breakfast. Got that from the train convention as well. One of my absolute favorite home media releases, which you guys already know that. Had to have that on DVD, of course. Big Day for Thomas, which was a Wooden Train bonus pack. Got that from FYE. I believe Caroline came with that. Cranky Bugs. Had that since I was a kid. Races, Rescues, and Runaways. Got that from the thrift store. 10 Years of Thomas. Got that on Black Friday at Half Price Books. Spills and Chills. Thrift store. I'm just going to say where I keep getting these. Make Someone Happy. Had this since I was a kid. The super rare, ultra amazing Thomas's Christmas Wonderland on DVD, which, if you looked at the prices of this on eBay, you would think it's super rare and super amazing, but it's really not. It's just Thomas's Christmas Wonderland on DVD. It has a free sampler, a CD sampler inside of it, and this actually is very special. This actually was not purchased. No, I didn't steal it before you put in the comments, hashtag Lego Lover's a thief. No, a good friend of mine who was mentioned earlier, Wooden Railway Only, actually offered to send this to me out of his own personal collection in order for me to complete my collection, because this was the final DVD release I needed to complete my mainstream DVD collection. So thank you once again, Wooden Railway Only. You were a big help in getting me to completion here. And also, look at the size of this case. I mean, it's thick. Like, I had no idea how thick this was. Like, I'm spelling this with 2 C's, by the way. I mean, this case is thick, man. I mean, it's huge. We're also going to be covering at this Christmas on HMR in a very super special supplemental. So keep your eyes out for that. Thomas and the Magic Railroad on DVD. Got that at Half Price Books on Black Friday. Trackside Tunes. Got that at this year's train convention. Can't wait to go back next year. Salty's Secret. Bought that actually off of Amazon, and it came new. I was actually surprised by that. Percy's Chocolate Crunch. Got that in a lot off of eBay. And rounding it out, James and the Red Balloon. Got that from the thrift store that I got all those other DVDs from. Starting off our next stack, we have another copy of James and the Red Balloon, which I scored off of eBay for a pretty cheap price, and inside it says it has a free music CD sampler, but if we open it up, it's just another copy of James and the Trouble with Trees. I mean, I can't really say that the seller was a liar, because they didn't really say that it had the CD in it. In fact, the seller gave no extra information about the product itself, and they never answered my question on if it had the CD or not. So I'm really only out like $3 or something, but it's really not that bad. I mean, I have the variant case for it, so I mean, it's okay, I guess. I'm trying to justify that purchase, I suppose. Thomas's Snowy Surprise, which was a 2016 reprinted version by Universal. New Friends for Thomas. This is the scratched version from my childhood. Another copy of New Friends for Thomas. That actually came in the lot with Percy's Chocolate Crunch, and that lot was extremely cheap. And I was like, okay, every other listing for Percy's Chocolate Crunch is over $10, and that lot was like $5. I mean, I got an extra copy of New Friends for Thomas, so yeah, that makes 3 of those now, I guess. Steamies versus Dizzles, or Diesels, as us common folk normally call it. Got that from Half Price Books for $1. Actually, that was pretty nice. Thomas and the Jet Engine. Had that since I was a kid. I was always confused by the narrator change. I had no idea that those were from 2 separate seasons. It's Great to Be an Engine. Had that since childhood. Not one of my favorites. Hooray for Thomas. Childhood copy. Thomas's Sort of Celebration. And childhood copy of Songs from the Station. Got those around the same time, and around the time of the 60th anniversary, which was 2005, and I believe we were going to Hilton Head then, and my grandparents surprised me with those for a birthday present. Yay me. Another copy of Songs from the Station, not from my childhood. I got that in a lot with the Best of Gordon from 2007. That's mainly why I bought that lot. There was another DVD release in there that I already had, which we'll come to in a minute. Percy Saves the Day. Got that off Amazon for pretty cheap. And Calling All Engines, a Lionsgate reprinting, which was, I believe, was like 2011, 2012, something like that. Thomas and the Really Brave Engines, slim case version. Track Stars, childhood version, came in the box set, along with Come Ride the Rails and Tales from the Tracks. A newer version of Track Stars, which was reprinted by Universal. Believe that's a 2015-2016 re-release of that. Tales from the Tracks came in that box set. Same with Come Ride the Rails, also in that box set. Milkshake Muddle. Show it to you on camera here. Honestly, I think that's one of my most hated Thomas and Friends releases ever. I mean, it's so poorly done, and the episodes on it are not good at all. Thomas's Trusty Friends. Actually, one of my favorite pack releases. I know there's only 2 of them, but I honestly like Thomas's Trusty Friends more than On Site with Thomas. Sue me. Carnival Capers. First copy of this I picked up at Half Price Books. Second copy came in that lot with the Best of Gordon from 2007 and the Song from the Station, and something else which I didn't have, which we'll get into in a moment. I'm just going to lay down for the rest of this. I was sitting up behind the camera here, if you can see my thumb right there. I was sitting up behind the camera, so now I'm just going to lay down for the rest of this, because my legs are getting tired. Ultimate Christmas. That's a 2006... Or no, that's not 2016 print. I just looked at it. That's Lionsgate, so that's 2011, 2012. Thomas and the Treasure, got that at Half Price Books. The same day I went and got Carnival Capers, actually. We got Engines and Escapades, got that on Black Friday as well. Mud, Glorious Mud, picked this up on a Target, actually, back in 2014, I think. I got it in a vlog. I can't remember if it was 2014, though. And finally, to round off this stack, The Great Discovery, which we've already looked at on HMR. Pretty decent Thomas and Friends special. I like it. It's not the best. Adventure Pack, which is entirely Season 12, all of Season 12 in a 4 DVD set, you can see up there. We just recently covered this in HMR a couple weeks ago. Hero of the Rails. This HMR has been up for a while, so I think you guys already know my thoughts on that movie, but I really like Hero of the Rails. I'm not sure why people are like, "Ooh, it's not very good." Yeah, it is. It's one of the best Thomas specials, actually. Splish Splash Splosh. You can see the big Borders sticker on there back when Borders were still around. I got it for $15 whenever it first came out. Overpaid for it, obviously. Thomas and the Runaway Kite. The Greatest Stories, which I was actually surprised to find at that thrift store, complete. I was actually kind of worried that it would only have one of the 2 discs that it has. Creaky Cranky, one of the cheapest releases I've ever picked up. It was only like $3 on eBay because nobody else wanted it. Misty Island Rescue. Oh boy, when that HMR airs, I think you guys are going to be pretty shocked at what I have to say on it. I don't like it. That's all I'm going to say. The Lion of Sodor. Took me forever to actually find a copy of that was decently priced. Wobbly Wheels and Whistles. Picked that up in a Target back in 2014. Pop Goes Thomas. Half Price Books on Black Friday. You all saw. Birthday Express. Got that in a lot. Along with Thomas in Charge. You guys. Alright, we're moving into the home stretch. We've only got 3 stacks left here. My voice is getting really tired, but I think we'll make it through. Day of the Diesels. Don't know why people hate that Thomas special. I really like it. I think it's pretty good. Merry Christmas, Thomas. Not very good at all. It's actually pretty bad. Makes me feel pretty down. Rescue on the Rails. My friend Ronnie should get that reference. It's making me feel pretty down. Curious Cargo. Again, another like $3 to $4 purchase off of eBay. Up, and Away. I found this in a Walmart, and I can't believe Universal actually reprinted this stupid thing. That was not fun to watch. I cannot wait to cover that on HMR. I'm going to go off on that thing. Schoolhouse Delivery. One of the most generic releases ever. Got that off Amazon as well. Engine Friends, also got this off Amazon. A major improvement over the Greatest Stories, but we will talk about that when we do the HMR on it. Blue Mountain Mystery, the movie. That's a parody of the guy who does the trailer voice for this. Pretty good Thomas film. Actually, really good. I really like Blue Mountain Mystery. A Very Thomas Christmas, 2016 reprint version by Universal. There's another version of this going around with even more updated poster art, but I do not have it. Sticky Situations. Everyone was going nuts whenever this was announced because, oh, Butch is back. He's back, guys. Butch is going to be back in the series. Even though this episode sucks. Which, again, that's kind of cool that Butch came back, and I'm pretty sure everybody rejoiced. Unlike now, when Terrence comes back and everybody's flipping crap because he doesn't have a stupid widow's peak and he has eyebrows. Who cares? Terrence is back. Shut up about it. Muddy Matters. Got that. Well, I just dropped it. Got that from Target. Animals Aboard. One of the most pointless releases ever for Thomas and Friends. I really don't like that release at all. Rounding off this final stack here. Go Go Thomas. Which that took me forever to get as well. Surprised at how long that took me to get. That was one of the last DVD releases I ever picked up, now that I think about it. Got Railway Mischief. Again, took me forever to finally get that. The first season 17 release. King of the Railway. I think that this one is underrated, actually. I think a lot of people overlook this one. They say it's bad. I say it's good. I say it's actually really good. It's one of my absolute favorite Thomas films, actually. And that came in the lot, along with Best of Gordon, Songs from the Station, Carnival Capers. So that's the one I did not have. Santa's Little Engine. The Thomas Way. If you heard barking in the background, I apologize. Those are just my dogs going nuts at something. I'm not really sure what it was. There he is again, if you could hear that. Spills and Thrills. Picked that up on the first day that it was out at Target. Pretty cheap there, actually. Trouble on the Tracks. Engines to the Rescue, one of the rarest CGI releases ever. This one was a pain in the butt for me to get my hands on. Okay, so here's the story. I bought a copy of Engines to the Rescue off of eBay, right? I paid about $6 for it. I wait like 2 to 3 weeks or so. It hasn't shipped. So I messaged the seller, hey, is this item ever going to ship? It's fine if it takes a while. I just want to know when it will ship. I wait a week. The seller never messaged me back. I wait another 2 or 3 days or so. The seller never messaged me back. I had to file a complaint with eBay to say, hey, this seller is not shipping my item, and they're not saying anything back. It doesn't say that they're gone or anything. They should be right there waiting to message me back. So eBay had to step in. They refunded me my $6, and that sale was canceled. So I was like, well, crap. There are no more Engines to the Rescues on eBay, so guess I'll just have to wait. Lo and behold, about a week or so later, an auction pops up for one, and I score it for about $7 to $8. So I overpaid a little bit for it than the first time I did, but I finally have a copy, so I really don't care. This is our song, our underwhelming Thomas movie, Tale of the Brave. I don't care much for Tale of the Brave, if I'm going to be honest. I think that that's actually worse than King of the Railway. The Christmas Engines. Got that at Walmart, I believe, with a slipcover. That's actually a rare find, to find a copy of any Thomas and Friends product in Walmart with a slipcover, let alone it being an older release. Signals Crossed, pretty decent release. Dinos and Discoveries. I do have a legit copy of that now. Got that in the same lot with the Birthday Express and Thomas in Charge. The Adventure Begins, one of the best Thomas films, with the only at Walmart sticker on there, which actually isn't true anymore, because I've seen The Adventure Begins at both Meijer and Toys R Us, which it's been 2 years since it's been out, so you'd think it would show up at other places. Rounding off this stack, Whale of a Tale. I'll go ahead and show you guys this in the background. This is one of the weirdest items I have in my collection. This is DVD Bingo. I got it because, well, it's a DVD. It's a Thomas and Friends home media product, and I have to have it. But I kind of got it just because it was kind of weird. You know, why not have a interesting thing in your Thomas and Friends home media collection. This will be getting its own full-fledged HMR at some point, probably after we catch up to modern day, but I will be doing an HMR on this at some point. So here we are, our final stack. This is it, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Wild Water Rescue, which was a Target exclusive for a while, and again, one of the hardest home video products for me to get my hands on because people want to charge out the ball sack for that. Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure, my favorite Thomas film, and obviously the best Thomas movie ever made. It's just perfect. Thomas's Christmas Carol, I bought this back at Sam's whenever Sam's used to sell DVDs and Blu-rays. They don't anymore. That's why you haven't seen any vlogs of me at Sam's, because mainly I just don't go there much anymore, and they don't sell anything that I want, so there's no reason for me to vlog. Tales on the Rails, I got that at Target, I believe. Start Your Engines with Philip on the cover there. The Great Race, first Thomas and Friends Blu-ray ever. I hope to get Journey Beyond Sodor on Blu-ray. I hope Journey Beyond Sodor has a Blu-ray. There's been rumors going around that it's not going to have a Blu-ray release, and if it doesn't, I'm going to be very sad. But The Great Race, I still really like this movie. I really, really like The Great Race, actually. The animation is stellar. I think the story's pretty good. I mean, personally, I think people are just too overcritical of The Great Race. Tinsel on the tracks. Got that at Walmart when it first came out last year. Ultimate Friendship Adventures. This is actually a really cool release. I think that Tell did a really good job with this one. However, the picture quality could be a little better. It's a little compressed. It doesn't look very good in my opinion. And to round out, Extraordinary Engines. I do not have Journey Beyond Sodor yet, because Journey Beyond Sodor is not out yet. We're filming this at the start of August, and Journey Beyond Sodor does not hit stores until the end of August. However, I'm very excited for Journey Beyond Sodor. I hope it's good. I really hope it's good. And then whenever Christmas on Sodor comes out, which I assume is going to be in October or November, I'll have that as well. If you haven't heard, Christmas on Sodor is the one where it has Terrence on the cover and everyone flipped out because he doesn't have his widow's peak, which I already ranted about earlier, but shut up about it. It doesn't matter. The Early Years, one of the best Thomas and Friends box sets ever made. I wish with all my heart that Mattel would release the rest of the seasons. If not the entire series, just seasons 1 through 7. Just give us the classic series and we'll be quiet. They don't listen to us anyway. I'm not sure why I'm even talking about it. The Holiday Favorites DVD box set, which we looked at last year for Christmas. That was a fun HMR, even though I didn't recommend that you pick that up. And to round out the collection, Totally Thomas, Volume 4, including New Friends for Thomas, A Big Day for Thomas, and Thomas and the Really Brave Engines. Alright everybody, that is my complete Thomas and Friends home media collection for 2017. I want to thank you all for watching this very long collection video. I hope this one won't turn out to be as long as the Pop collection. That was over an hour. My apologies that that one was so long. But yeah, again, thank you guys for watching. I should have another collection video up within the next couple of weeks. That one's going to be my complete Blu-ray and DVD collection, which isn't Thomas. This Thomas stuff is a completely separate library. I mean, like, my action movies, my Marvel movies, my DC movies, even though there are only like 3 of them. Yeah, all those like actual films and stuff. That collection video should be up within the next couple of weeks. So, again, thank you all for watching, and as always, good night everybody.